Good afternoon, everyone. Today's Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. This is our weekly business meeting, officially calling the meeting to order. Attending Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Welcome, everyone. Leanna, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Okay. Moving on. So approving the minutes of previous meetings.
I move that we approve items 1 through 8.
Bill Brooks. Aye. Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Moving on to approving the consent calendar.
I move that we approve items 9 through 16 on the consent calendar.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. The payables list, please.
I move that we approve the payables for the week of January 31st through February 4th, 2022 in the amount of $406,615.29.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, and motion's carried. That's here. Okay. Moving item, okay, so, we just did the payables. Okay, so moving on to the business segment. I guess it's item 18 on our agenda. Bid award number 2022-01 for the Landfill Operations Building recommendation, and this is solid waste. JP.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. John Phillips for the record. Only one sealed bid was received on January 25th, 2022 in regard to bid number 2022-01, the Landfill Operations Building Project. This bid was submitted by TML Construction Incorporated and has been evaluated by the Solid Waste Department as well as the Legal Department. Due to pricing greatly exceeding the budgeted amount, it is the Solid Waste Department recommendation to reject bid number 2022-01. It is likely that the department will ask to carry these funds forward and look at rebidding the project in fiscal year 23 or 24.
Okay. Questions for JP?
Nope.
Motion?
Sure.
I move that we reject bid number 2022-01 for the Landfill Operations Building.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, motion's carried. Item number 19, Avista Electric Service Agreement for the State Line Park Bridge with, of course, Avista and our Parks and Waterways. Nick Snyder. Nick, go ahead, please. Nick?
Might have been having trouble keeping connected.
You know what?
Oh,
Nick, are you on?
Nick Snyder. Yes, Commissioner, my phone, I'm having phone troubles. Bear with me.
Oh, okay. Go right
Can you
ahead.
hear me?
yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Commissioners, is my item still on?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Before you is an electrical service installation contract with Avista in the amount of $44,796. Funding for that project is a combination of Joint Powers account and a very generous donation from the North Idaho Centennial Trail Foundation. And you might recall this is the project necessary to provide power to the State Line Bridge and State Line Park.
Okay.
Nick, do we have the breakdown exactly what's coming from the Joint Powers versus the Centennial Foundation?
Yeah, the overall project, Commissioner, is approximately $133,000, and the foundation is contributing $60,000. So penciling that out, again, I don't have it up in front of me, is approximately $73,000 from Joint Powers.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. Motion?
I move that we approve the Avista Electric Service Agreement for the statewide park bridge.
Second?
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Motion carried. Number 20, grant application 2022 Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding Program with the Idaho State Police for an amount of $71,094. There is no match requirement. Who's speaking for the sheriff?
Sergeant Chris Case, for the record.
Go right ahead, sir.
Yes, we're seeking the approval of the board to continue on with the application process for the 2022 coronavirus emergency supplemental funding program. And as you said, there is no match for it, and this is not us, we're not supplanting anything. This is just to supplement the purchase of personal protective equipment and safety gear for the jail to combat any outbreaks or anything like that.
Sure.
I believe that Kim Riley supplied you with the grant application.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, in the list, there's a bunch of,
Yep.
sanitary stuff in there,
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve the grant application for the 2022 Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding Program with Idaho State Police and our jail.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 21, fiscal year 22 agreement, University of Idaho Extension Office with the BOCC. Leanna.
Thank you, Leanna Kaiser, for the record. This is our annual agreement with the University of Idaho Extension Office. There was a delay getting the contract back to us. They had a backlog in their contracts department, so we are just now receiving this. This actually was effective October 1st. This will run through September 30th of 2022. This is for the programs that are at the Extension Office, and we budgeted for $159,519 to support their programs, and you did approve that in the budget. This also includes the one more year of their lease payments of $36,000, and we also approved that in the budget.
And this is the second year of a 2-year lease.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Understood.
we'll be addressing that shortly.
Questions?
I did make one change to the contract this year.
Uh-huh.
In prior years, we had asked them to submit invoices to us for their quarterly payments. That program was not working. So we changed the contract this year where we automatically send the payments to them quarterly to make sure that the payments are submitted timely.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. Motion?
I move that we approve the FY 22 agreement with University of Idaho Extension Office.
Second?
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion's carried. Thank you, Leanna. Item 22, correspondence, board approval update to the Coeur d'Alene Airport minimum standards. Stephen?
Commissioner Stephen Coeur for the record. For the past 4 or 5 months, the airport and the Airport Advisory Board have been working through updating the airport minimum standards and adding a couple SASOs, which is Specialized Airport Service Operator. The advisory board has recommended the approval of the document that's before you, and it was out for comments from the airport groups for over a month, and we received 2. One which was the pilot association, which was to destroy the whole thing and start over. The advisory board said no to that, and the other was some items that we addressed during the last advisory board meeting. And I think we sent, as part of the last update, we provided that to you as well.
Okay.
I've got a couple, one addition and one clarification. On the bottom of page 16 in the agreement, it talks about the county reserves the right to charge for all new facilities the cost of development for all utility infrastructure. And I had a conversation with Steve, and I just want to make sure that it's something that we're talking to the people about first. And my understanding, before we do it, my understanding is that Stephen doesn't intend to use this for single properties, but it's when multiple properties are coming online at once.
Yeah, I look at the example of we have what's on the south ramp. There's an individual hangar tenant that we are not going to get involved in their utility connection points. They're going to have to do a gas line extension, major sewer connection point, because they're running into our major sewer line, a bunch of other utility work as well. We won't get involved with that because that's one item.
Sure.
But if you look at the Gulfstream North, that roadway infrastructure, what we're calling the infant electronic ramp, that's a 6 to 8 to 10 unit development out. That makes sense for us to be involved with, because if we're not involved with, we may not get as good a product. You're gonna have holes in the development, because leases may not go consecutively down that row. So it just makes it better if we're involved and we're in charge of that.
Okay.
Sure. The second part is, I have it as page 56, item D, but the one in my packet goes from 53 to 54, but there is no section D. Goes from C to D in my packet. So I am not sure.
If I remember right, it was included on the parachute operations, about how they have the right to revert,
Right.
or to appeal to the BOCC, correct?
Yeah, and
If you wish, the board directs, we can add that in there. However, it states previously, any actions taken by the advisory board or the airport director have the right to be appealed to the BOCC. That's in the start of the whole document, so.
Okay.
We can add that in there if the board likes, but in my review in the document, as the person that wrote it, it's already in there.
Okay. So if the documents, I mean, if you've got an umbrella statement, basically, I think we're covered. Leslie, you okay with that?
yeah, I'm just not sure why it's not in our packet as far as I guess I don't know if the right one's
Is it in
not
the
there or
beginning,
what.
Stephen?
No, the
Administrative appeals are start on page 10.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so, and you think that's sufficient, covers the whole document?
Better line, Steve and I haven't reviewed that.
Yeah, to me, because this would be an administrative appeal, as the airport would be restricting the access and right to that, of that user, then that would be an administrative action by me.
Okay.
And the appeal would then revert to you.
Okay.
That's how I would view it.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Motion.
I move that we approve the update to the Coeur d'Alene Airport minimum standards.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion is carried. Item number 23, approve the extension of the professional service agreement with Stan Brennan, and this is our IT department. Matt?
Hi, Matthew Snow, IT for the record. This is, as it says, an extension to provide professional services from Stan Brennan to help with the fixes we have and the things that we have to do out of our system that he designed, so he's probably the only one that can really support it. We're trying to get those things permanently fixed with another contract with
XTR.
XTR. But in the interim, this is what we need. And
Okay.
there's no extra budget needed. We've already budgeted
Have
for it.
Okay. Motion, please?
I move that we approve the extension of professional services agreement with Stan Brennan.
Second?
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item number 24, approving the contract with Galena Consulting, and that's for the impact fees. Bill, did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, we've been working on this, and Ann from Galena Consulting has been very helpful and is in no hurry. I mean, it's not like she's pushing us along, but the sooner we get this thing working properly, the sooner we can start assessing impact fees.
Yeah, and I think we addressed it 2 weeks ago. I don't know whether, there was one open item. Oh, that's right. They used the term city instead of county. That was a grammatical or an error. Did you have something else?
I did. The original contract had sheriff's office, jail, coroner's office, and parks. But parks has been removed from the newest document, and the price has dropped by $15,000. So I'm just curious why parks was dropped. Do you know?
I didn't drop it.
Okay.
Nick, are you on?
He wouldn't have anything to do with it. So it's just, I don't know why Ann Westcott gave us a new agreement without parks in there, because it's only 3 of the 4 that you had discussed and approved that I know of.
And I just saw an email from her because somebody else wanted to be on the committee, and the email included parks. Maybe it's
So-
just an error.
Yeah,
Should we
so-
follow up before we execute?
Yeah. Yeah, if she's not in any rush, then
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can do it next week.
Okay. You want to check on that, Bill, please? Thank you. All right. So we'll circle back to that anyway. Item 25, Advisory Board Appointment. I think we can do 25 and 26 together.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's same Advisory Board, Waterways, Parks and Waterways. So item 25 is to appoint Party Dixon, and the term ending December 31st, 2024. And item 26 is an appointment for Party Price, term also ending 12/31/2024. Motion?
Yeah, I move that we approve the advisory board appointments to the Waterways Advisory Board of Dixon and Price, both terms ending December 31st of 2024.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item 20, okay, so 27 and 28 we can take together because they're the North Idaho Fair Advisory Board or Fair Board appointments. And item 27 is Party Kirking. And item 28, the party is Pettit. Both are alternates and both expiring 12/31/2025. Motion?
Go ahead.
Okay. I move that we approve the advisory board appointments for the North Idaho Fair alternate positions of Kirking and Pettit, their terms expiring 12/31 of 25.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item 29, another advisory board appointment to Noxious Weeds, Party of Hanson, and it's a reappointment, term expiring 12/31/2023. Motion?
I move that we approve Hanson to the Noxious Weed Advisory Board, term expiring December 31st, 2023.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion is carried. Item 30, advisory board appointment of John Hunt to the Fleet Management.
You want to take this one, or?
No,
Okay.
that's your name on it. Go ahead.
I move that we approve the appointment of John Hunt to the Fleet Management.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item 31, Resolution 2022-12, and it's surplus equipment and assets deletion. Speaking for KCSO 911, Colin.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Colin McRoy for the record, Kootenai County 911. This is a surplus equipment and asset deletion resolution before you. This is equipment that was identified in the last asset audit as fully depreciated and no longer in use by us at 911. Other than on the list, you'll see the Canfield Road that is still in use, but the capital asset, when constructed, has now been fully depreciated, and the maintenance no longer meets that capital asset value set by the board. So the auditor's office felt it was no longer necessary to be an asset item as far as tracked.
So you're deleting it.
So yes, deleting it.
Okay.
So are these, I see some no longer in use and that, so are those things going to go to auction?
They will be surplus in accordance with county policy. They'll either be sent to, much of it is electronics equipment. They will be, the hard drives will be removed and destroyed as per county policy, and then whatever is left will determine dollar value and either sent to auction or placed out of service in other appropriate ways.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Colin. Motion?
I move that we approve resolution 2022-12, surplus equipment and assets deletion, KCSO.
I'll second.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. And the motion's carried. So item 32. Okay, so this is an update by Commissioner Leslie Duncan on the IAC, that's the Idaho Association of Counties, Midwinter Conference, which you attended last week. Go right ahead.
I did.
Thanks, Dave.
So, yeah, thanks. More property tax relief is coming. Not sure exactly what form that is going to be in. The charity levy, they're looking at eliminating that. Public defense is looking at being 100% funded by the state. If that comes through, then we will have to reduce our property tax budget by the amount that the county supplies for Ann's budget. So if Ann's budget's $5 million and $3 million is coming from property tax, then we have to reduce that property tax number.
How do we pay her rent?
Well, that's another issue.
Okay.
Another issue. So,
Go
and then
ahead.
as far as the reserves go, it looks like one bill that's being considered is taxing entities would be allowed 6 months reserve plus a 1 month rainy day fund. So, Dina, if I can do back in the napkin math, that's $49 million for Kootenai County. About 7 months at $7 million. I mean, I think we're
That's
over 7
49,
million
yeah.
now. So, yeah, so Kootenai County would be allowed to have about 50 million in reserves, and if only that were close to being what we have, that'd be great. But I think we're going to be fine. Yep. Okay. So I asked Director Twalt of the Idaho Department of Corrections if they were still considering coming to Kootenai County with their reentry center, and he said not without community support. And he is very well aware that there is not community support in Kootenai County for the reentry center. So every time I get a chance to ask him, I just like to make sure I get the same answer from him.
And that went to an advisory vote.
Uh-huh. Yep.
What was that, 80%, 78?
78 and change.
Yeah, something like that.
Opposed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Met with legislators on Wednesday night, kind of let them know what our concerns were, and Bela was with me, and so he spoke to some of the assessor issues. And executive sessions. There was a nice training on executive sessions, and I think that Kootenai County does pretty good. The one thing we can improve on is when we go into executive session and we don't just read the code number, we actually have to read personnel or litigation, or so they just want a little bit more, a little bit more specific instead of just the number, and then reminding those in executive session that it is confidential. And if you can't trust them, then don't go into executive session. I found that very interesting advice. So that's pretty much, they went over some ARPA stuff. They wanted to make sure that we were tracking everything. So if we have a project, let's say that we use it to build a pod out in the jail, that wouldn't be the total project. We would have to go and document everything, the contractor, the materials, so whatever we're billed for, we have to put that into the
So they want it
report.
itemized.
They want it itemized. They don't want just the project solid. They want it itemized. So, yeah. And I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, but I just found that noteworthy. And that was about it. I mean, some other good stuff, but that was what I felt like should have been brought back to
Okay.
this.
Thank you. Questions for Leslie? No? Okay. Thank you. So it was worthwhile.
Oh, they are always worthwhile.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So moving on to our final item, which is a status update, facilities expansion.
Yes, on February 18th, the LCA will meet with us and let us know what the updated pictures or drawings look like for the expansion to the Justice Center. And I know that we have termed some things Attorney Center, but I think expansion to Justice Center is going to be a more accurate depiction now. So we can, if it's agreeable, we can start using that terminology.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Bill? You don't want the building, so.
No.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, PAC Airport lease. Stephen sent that to PAC.
Yeah, but we're just waiting for
For a response.
PAC. Well, no, we're waiting for the PAC board to sign it. So until the PAC board meets,
So,
yeah.
so Wally doesn't have a problem. Wally's okay with it, the director, I
Yeah, he's
presume?
bringing it to the board.
He's bringing it to the board, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I think they meet quarterly, if I'm not mistaken. Financial snapshot, Dina, you did that for us last week, thank you. Impact fee analysis,
Next week, we're gonna do.
next week, yeah, basically, okay, so we have everything, we have to clarify why Parks and Waterways, whether it's in or not. I think it's in, but we need to get that clarified, otherwise we can execute. North Lot land sale, we had a counteroffer.
Yes, so I emailed them to let them know that on February 15th, next week, we will be discussing that offer. And there's a couple other things that we can consider when finalizing the lot line adjustment. So I'll be very excited. Hopefully next week we'll be able to cross this off our list.
Next item, Skeet and Gun Club. So last week, we decided to forward a proposal to them? Or one of the
2 weeks
scenarios?
ago.
Or was it
Yeah,
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, it was gonna be, yeah, the one
And
scenario.
so I guess they're just, what, digesting that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't know when is their board meeting,
I don't know when their board meeting is. I know that,
also considered as a board.
yeah, yep. And they really have until January of '23 to negotiate with us because that'll be 90 days from their expiration
That's
of their
90 days from
lease.
their expiration, okay. Okay. And finally, the ARPA statement, which I'm required to read. Requests for Kootenai County ARPA funding are now undergoing evaluation. If you have any questions or comments about the American Rescue Plan Act or Kootenai County's evaluation process, please direct them to the arpa@kcgov.us email address by March 1st, 2022. That is the deadline for submissions. Other than that, we're done. Public comment? Hearing none, 2:27, meeting adjourned. Thanks.